Hello, this is the Silver Watchman, and welcome to episode number 2 of 99 Challenges. Now, because I'm getting secondhand upset again, just watching the video. I'm remembering all the frustration. All right. Yeah, no. Yeah, so this game is it's a challenge. See, the difference between this game and Bullet Hell Mondays is that Bullet Hell Mondays is fun. Yeah. And so is Thumper. Thumper's actually really fun. My gosh, when I'm playing it, when I'm not recording, it's like boom, 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 boom. You know? Yeah, but this game is I wouldn't call it fun. It's addictive, that's what it is. But unfortunately, I mean, I'm gonna try to have as little videos of this game as possible, which means I'm gonna try to beat it as quickly as possible. So I don't have to deal with this game much longer. I understand that's kind of an aggressive way to start off a video. But if the game is so frustrating that doing a voiceover for something that's been done days ago, and then you're remembering how upset you were getting, just days prior, then there's a small, I mean, I understand it's an addicting game. It's oh my gosh. Okay, no. Okay, we need to get to the real meat of the situation. Talking about God. Wow, that's just like, that's amazing. Oh, that's kind of cool then. That's actually part of our design. Oh, that's cool. All right, I'm gonna try to work through the anger here, because even though I can be angry at times, I don't like to be, because okay, so we're gonna talk about anger, because that's all I can really focus on. Second hand. Okay, let's calm the shakes. This game's not good for me. Okay. Calm down. Anger is not a bad thing. Anger is a double-edged sword, though. Meaning, if you're not careful, you can get into a lot of trouble because of your anger. But even God gets angry, but anger is not it's not a bad thing. In some situations, you're supposed to get upset. God makes it so that way you can As you continue to work through your anger, even God gets angry. God knows how to use his anger properly. Because what anger is supposed to do, anger is supposed to give you the determination to make things right. Because you only get angry when there's something really, really wrong. Like, for instance, this entire game. I understand hard, but a lot of it is just unfair. And that's why a lot of people will get angry. God is an extremely fair being. That's why when you're serving God, yes, you can get angry at God sometimes, but you're not really angry. You can't really be angry at him. Because you know, whatever's happening, God knows what he's doing. So God will make it right in the end. He will always make it right. Okay. I need a nap. Okay. To be a proper man or woman of God, you gotta learn to work through your anger. And sometimes when you're angry, it's hard to forgive. But you gotta always remember that you gotta forgive. Because when God is angry at you and you ask for forgiveness, he still forgives you. And then he just kind of lets go of the anger. He lets go. He lets go of it. And in situations like this, we have to learn to let go of our anger. Because though it is a very useful and powerful tool, it is not nearly as useful and powerful as our ability to show love and forgiveness. Sometimes you need to work through the anger and overcome the anger so you could truly achieve something magnificent. And that is the will of God. Because what Satan likes to do is make you angry. And when you're angry, you can't really do many things, because if you're anything like me, when you're angry, you don't want to be bothered. You just kind of want to be left alone. Just sit there and fester in steam and maybe light something on fire in the corner. I mean, I'm kidding. You just light a couple smoke bombs and throw it in the middle of the road, and then you're just like, wow, pretty colors. Pretty colors. Sorry. But anger is not a bad thing. If it was, God wouldn't do it. God doesn't sin, so therefore sin is bad. But God gets angry, which tells me that anger is not a bad thing. It is bad when you let yourself become controlled by the anger. You have to learn to overcome and control it. It is a tool for you to use, a very dangerous tool that, if used improperly, would do more harm than good. When used properly, you could even change the hearts of men. Because the wrath of God has been used to change the hearts of men before. I'm such an example. I saw the wrath of God, and then I saw God's mercy, and I'm like, you know what? I think I'd rather serve God, because he showed me mercy. when he was so angry at me, he showed me mercy. And he forgave me when I did not deserve forgiveness. So when you're angry and somebody sees that you're angry and you're angry at them and they know you're angry at them, and instead of attacking them in anger, you choose to forgive them in love, that will have a much more powerful effect than you telling them off. Then you work through the anger. No matter how angry you are, you work towards forgiveness. Like how right now I am fuming. I am re-remembering all the frustration I went through, and I am shaking just as much as I was when the video was being made. When this gameplay was being made. Because I'm remembering all the frustration. Because it was also done after a Bullet Hell Monday's finale attempt. Which also had me upset. But getting this done, working through the anger, is how a man of God should be. You are not your anger, but your anger is yours. God's anger belongs to God. And here's why we get angry. We get angry at things that are wrong, things that are unfair, or as we perceive to be unfair. I get angry too. But we have to learn to let go of our anger and to hold on to the love. Because at the end of the day, we do a lot more by being forgiving and loving than we can when we're angry. It's okay to let people see that you're upset. But it's even more okay to let them see that you're letting it go and choosing to forgive, because that will have a much more powerful impact. But don't get angry and then be like, oh, I'm going to forgive them, and then you're still angry at them. That's not how it works. That's not how it works at all. I understand things can be a bit frustrating at times. I understand. But we get upset. And different things can make us upset. For me, it's just something just being unfair. But once you get past that thing and overcome it, then you really get to see because while you're angry, there's not really much you can do. I understand I'm talking in circles. That's just me. That's just working through the frustration, through the anger. Because things can be like really frustrating at times. But at the end of the day, you have the control. You are the human that can choose to let your anger control you, or you can control your anger. You can choose the higher path or the lower path. To be honest, yeah, you have to learn to control your anger. Even I, you know, because anger is it's not bad. Think about it like this. If you ever want to know whether or not something is truly good or bad, look at God. If God doesn't do it, then chances are it's probably bad. And God doesn't say, do not judge. God just says, be careful about how you judge. Because with the standard that you hold other people, that's the same standard that you yourself are going to be held by. That being said, I do not hold a very high standard at all when it comes to people. My standards are extremely low, unless it's a video game. If you can actually impress me with your game and can have me continuously play just to beat it, then you're gonna get at least a 3 stars. This game, as frustrated as it makes me, I would have to say the design of it is absolutely wonderful. Very creative. Because it keeps the player playing. If not to do anything else, but just to overcome it. Just to overcome the game. And that's so cool. But it's cool that God allowed that person, you, the developer of the game, to just think of something like this. And to think that now it's on a channel run by a man of God who's following the orders of God. And God is God, so God is awesome. So therefore... Oh gosh, no. Oh no. Okay. Okay, this game took a turn. It's still a nice design though, okay? I'll give compliments when compliments are due. Because... yeah. Even though this game frustrates me, I do enjoy playing it. And if it's on the channel, then that means it's got the okay from God. Believe it or not, a lot of games never got the okay. But every single game that you see on my channel is a game that's got an okay from God. So long as you play it with the right mindset and not the wrong mindset. But yeah, like I was saying, when you're angry, that just means that you feel like something is wrong, like really wrong, and you really want somebody to do something about it. And the funny thing is, like, a lot of people get angry at God because they see all this evil stuff going on, and they're like, Well, how come God's not doing anything about it? He did. He made you. The person that gets upset by that particular thing. So you can do something about it. He's bringing it to your attention to give you the choice to stand up and do something about it. Or just sit there and fume. Games like Thumper, Bullet Hell Mondays, this game, my gosh, this game. They upset me. I mean, this game upsets me a lot because it just has like a lot of like a little bit of unfairness. But Thumper is actually, it's just one of those memorize the entire path in a split second or you're gonna fail. And with Bullet Hell Mondays, it's a lot of switching between going at it aggressively and going at it defensively and memorizing the enemy attack patterns to overcome the enemy. And that actually says a lot. In this game, it's like it's a lot of how much can you memorize in a moment, which is cool because in a lot of ways, walking with God can be kind of the same way. And I know I say walking with God can be a lot of things because walking with God can be a lot of things. Okay? You're going to have some days that are pretty mundane and pretty easy, like how some of my games are very nice, very peaceful. And you're going to have days that are like this, 99 challenges. Just absolutely frustrating, where it just feels like you're bashing your head against a wall and not making any progress. But in reality, you're making progress, just not very much. Oh gosh. It takes a special kind of thing to upset you in the moment, and then upset you every single time you remember it. But that being said, nonetheless, I'm still impressed. Even though working through your anger can be like, it feels like you're trying to pull a metal chain that's being pulled against you by Donkey Kong, and then a super magnet, and then and a monster truck, and I don't know, something else ridiculously like powerful that'll like pull something with a lot of force. Because you have to fight against your own anger. And a lot of people, they can't do that. Me, I can do it. I just can't do it very well. Which is why I have like a specific policy. Never make a decision while upset, ever. Because when you make a decision while you're upset, it it's probably influenced by the anger, unless you're so good at like working against your own anger and making a clear and tactful decision in that very unstable mental state. I'm not good at that, so I don't make decisions while upset. Like, I needed a full day to recover after like making the video recording of this, because it upset me so much, because I'm like, this is just gonna be a short 15-minute, this is a half hour. Okay. But God always gives us the tools that we need. We can choose to be upset, or we could choose to resist that anger, that we may do the will of God properly. I mean, don't get me wrong, even God himself got angry. Like, when he saw like all of that craziness that was going on in his temple, he flipped over tables. He got so angry that he flipped over tables and he chased people out of the temple. Because what he saw just made him so like... And he got angry because what was being done was so wrong. It was such like a disrespect. It was just like... this game, like, it'll make you upset because it's frustrating, because it's like... You have to do things within a split second. Or just, you know... And to be honest, while doing the recording, it was so tempting just to be like, you know what? I'm just gonna cancel the whole series and not do it. But God was like, no, work through it, work through the frustration, work through the anger. It's gonna be powerful. So I listened to God. And so here we are, the very upset Silver Watchman. Okay, it's just, I see why God is like, work through it, so to encourage other men of God to, when they're upset, not to just back away, but just to work through the anger and to make decisions despite you being upset, wanting to just go and sit in a corner for like an hour and a half, just contemplating, is this really your life at this point? Because like, yeah, you're gonna get that angry at times, and especially if you're walking with God. But it's not about the anger. It's about making the decision to choose to let that anger control you and your decisions. Or do you choose to do the right thing by God? It's always your choice. Like, I could have chosen to just delete this recording and not upload it, and then delete the game and then never deal with it again. I got that angry that I wanted to do that. But I also made a promise. That every single series that gets started will be finished with the proper ending of the game. Not all games are easy. Some of them are so hard that you just kind of want to do the exact thing that I just mentioned earlier, which is sit in a corner for an hour and a half. just silently fuming because you can't touch anything, because when you're that angry, you touch something and then it accidentally breaks in your hand and you get frustrated even more. Okay, not the time to vent. I could do that later. The point of the matter is, if somebody as stubborn as me can do it, somebody like you can do it then. Somebody like you could definitely do it and get it done. Because as forgiving and loving as I can be, I'm a bit of a hothead. I'm like, once I'm upset, I'm just like, no, leave me alone. I need to be alone right now. Like, I just want to be like left alone and not bothered when I'm upset. And sometimes God is like, no, you have to go deal with people. And then I'm just like, I'm upset. I don't want to deal with people. But when God's upset at you, he'll still deal with you. And he'll still forgive you if you ask for forgiveness. So despite him being angry, if you ask for mercy, then God will show mercy. Because God is forgiving. So we have to work through our own anger to overcome what seems like a challenge that is impossible. And yeah, we're gonna fail. We're gonna fail a lot. Because anger is a very, very hard to control thing. It's like trying to take control over, I don't know, like a giant comet, but your only means of controlling it is like a toothpick. And that toothpick breaks very easily if you're not careful. And that's kind of how it is with overcoming your anger. But it's always worth it in the end. That appears to be quite actually all the time I have for this episode. That is good. Glory be to God, and thank you for watching. Blessings be upon you, and this is truly an honor. Remember, you are not your anger, but your anger comes from you, which means you are the controller. So glory be to God. Blessings be upon you. And this is the Silver Watchman, signing out.